bringing to you. Every time we turn live, man, you know it's the truth. Every after show, moving down. This the time to move around. No Gimmicks podcast is going down. Every night, every time in the ring. This is time for no gimmicks, no, we doing our thing. What's your state of mind? State of mind. Moving down a statement when we take the line. This is exactly wrestling the state design. When you see Stone Cold like me, with the stunner in the world, exactly, man, what we bring. Every night we move like Brock Lesnar. The F5, no gimmicks. We take you to your limit. What's the feeling? When we live in the air, you know we on. That's the time. Guarantee we move. You know how we respond. The state is mine. The state design when we feel it.
Welcome everybody to the No Gimmicks podcast here on the DFPN. Oh, we're going to talk about it tonight. We are going to talk about it tonight. We got a show for you guys. I had like this whole thing ready to roll out. Wanted to talk about Mania. Wanted to talk about the Raw after Mania and some of the things that I liked and disliked about Mania. Oh, Lord. But then again, we got to talk about it. We gotta talk about it. That's it. But before we do that, shout out to our sponsor, Khan's Custom Creations. Get your custom made merch. She is back in business. She's been out of the office for a while, but she's back. So follow her. Get on her IG. Get your orders in. Khans_custom creations at IG, or look for her on Facebook. Khans Custom Creations. Get your custom merch. Shout out to the DFPN family. We normally do this show on Patreon. I do have my reaction from tonight and watching the footage from All In. I will be posting that to Patreon. So get over on Patreon if you want to see my reaction, my real-time thoughts to what they showed on AEW Dynamite tonight in regards to the All In footage. We're going to be talking about it here. But if you want to see my uncut reaction, I will be posting that to Patreon. A whole lot of content on Patreon as well. So patreon.com/thatfeelingpodcast. Go subscribe as little as $3. It gets you extra content. Live episodes are done there for the Smoke Pit and No Gimmicks. But for tonight, since I've been on this roll with dropping content, I decided to stay out of the paywall. See how many people we can pick up outside the paywall for, before we go back in it. But shout out to them. Bandcamp, thatfeeling.bandcamp.com. The entire Dat Feeling catalog for $3, guys. $3. That's a shit ton of music. So make sure you go subscribe to it. Thatfeeling.bandcamp.com. Now, the meat and potatoes, if you will. Actually, before I do that, let me talk about Mania. The main event and the reaction to it. Obviously, the right guy went over. Obviously, it's a great thing for Cody Rhodes. He's the guy of the future. What I did not like, what I despised actually, was this notion by the people who wanted Roman Reigns to win that, to lose that match because he did not defend. And, going into this match, they were just so adamantly against Roman, right? For them to chant out on Raw, "Thank you, Roman," y'all can keep that shit, bro. Keep it. Don't thank the man because you obviously wanted him out of there. So when you say "Thank you, Roman," what exactly are you thanking? What are you thanking? The fact that he dropped the title after this long? Because that's what you obviously wanted. Obviously, the man didn't defend it as much. But now that he dropped the title, we're magically saying, "Thank you, Roman." For what? Now, I've been on record saying that I liked that the guy made every title defense that he did mean something. It meant something. So I will say thank you, Roman, because I appreciated the body of work he put out. But for the rest of y'all got some explaining to do. Because me, I was listening to that like, nah, y'all got to get the fuck out of here with that. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here. But that's all I wanted to say about that. That's pretty much it. I was going to break this down over the course of an hour. But, you know, we got bigger fish to fry. Starting with the comments. It's already coming in. Shout out to my co-host. Happy anniversary to my co-host. This is why he's not doing the show tonight. Happy anniversary to you, Frankie D, the chosen one, the married one, the celebrating one. Happy anniversary to you, my guy. I hope you and your wife had a great day and you guys just celebrated each other today. It's a beautiful thing, man. Beautiful thing. Happy for you guys. But this is why he got me solo tonight. Let's talk about it. He's leaving the comments. He's left the comments. He said AEW just proved they're the biggest joke in the pro wrestling industry. It's hard to disagree with that, man. It's hard to disagree with it. The initial response to tonight, including me, I did not like this at all. At all. And even in the fact that you tried to spin it for an angle, I mean, I get it. I appreciate that part of it. But the rest of it, first of all, I feel like Punk baited them. This is how I feel. Like, this is my uncut raw feelings right now. I feel like CM Punk baited them. He went on Ariel Helwani during the biggest week of WrestleMania history, which I hated that. I'm like, this is a WWE week. Why are we talking about AEW? I hated that. Why are we bringing up past stuff? The goal of it was to move on. You went to WWE to move on. So why are we talking about that? Well, the reporter asked. It's Helwani's job to ask the tough questions. He asked the question. He answered the question. You got what you got. I did not like this at all. I didn't like the response to it, because when they announced that the Young Bucks was, first of all, it's the Young Bucks. People already hate the Young Bucks. If you don't know this, like, just listen. Immediately after Punk left, like, there was CM Punk chants. Anytime that they're around, there's CM Punk chants. This is not good for your company. This isn't good. You just fired the guy that was your biggest draw. He's gone. Now he's with the competition. And then he's in a main event spot with the competition. This is not a good move. Like, what about this made you say, if it's in response to what he did in the interview, I would have appreciated it if there was no response. I would have appreciated this way more if there was no response to anything that they were talking about during that interview, because the WWE was being petty. It's their week, bro. It's their week. They have the most attention. They have the world's ears because it's the WWE. Of course, if they fire a shot during this week, it's going to make them look 10 times stronger than you. You don't have to respond. Like, this is fucking chess, bro. Like, what? Why? In what world would you want to respond to that? All the attention is on them. So if they mention you, even in the slightest, it's a positive for you. Shut the fuck up. Why are you responding? Please don't do them any favors. And then CM Punk comes out, he does the interview, and then, like, it's an uproar. But in my head, I'm like, God, bro, like, and he knows this. He knows this. He knows Tony Khan cannot take that. And guess what? Today you proved him right. You proved everything that he was saying during that interview was right. Because what did he say? He said, I didn't punch anybody, which the video clearly shows this. He said, I just choked somebody a little bit. That's debatable. That's because he pushed him and then he tried to go after him. And by the time he went after him, Samoa Joe had grabbed Jack Perry. This is all in the footage, which is all over Twitter right now. Everybody's got an opinion about it. None of it is positive. What are you doing, Tony? Why are you responding to this? And this is where I say it would have been way better if you had not said anything at all. It would have benefited you way more had you been quiet about it. Let it pass. It would have passed. But for shits and giggles, let's go to Twitter and see what Twitter is saying right now. Right? So because as soon as this happened, the Young Bucks went out and Tony Khan put up a tweet like, thank you all for watching. And they destroyed him, bro. They destroyed him. The Young Bucks go out. There's a CM Punk chant. Immediately after this, there's even a video of a fan recording the footage in the arena that they're playing on a jumbo screen in the arena. And while they're playing this, the fans are chanting CM Punk. Like, they're praising this shit. Why? Because one, you said you fired the man because he threatened you, or he felt like your life was in danger. The video clearly showed he didn't even really go after him. He just yelled at him. He didn't even do Jack Perry that bad. In which I'm gonna go on record right now, and I'm probably gonna be off on this one. But the first question I had was, well, Jack Perry didn't really do shit. So why did you suspend Jack Perry this long? Is it because he talked to Punk like that? Or is it because, like, you had to fire your biggest superstar because of Jack Perry? And in this case, it kind of makes Jack Perry's scapegoat claim look kind of legitimate. I mean, this is all a mess, man. It's all a mess. And now we're actually debating. There's actually debate on Twitter, not weird, but there's actually debate on Twitter if this is like the death knell to the company, which I don't think so. I think they can still turn this around. But bro, this was absolutely, positively not the way to go. This was not the way to go. Like, and I said this last episode with Frank D. I said, anytime AEW has any type of success, it's like something comes around and just derails that shit. I don't understand it. Anytime they have some type of build up and good shows, which they've been having a string of good shows. Tonight, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Tonight just wasn't it overall. And they will probably, if Dynamite has like 600,000 people average tomorrow, I'm gonna be really shocked. I'm gonna be really shocked. I would not be surprised if a lot of people turn the show off tonight, because that's how it felt watching it on television. It felt like it took the crowd out. It took the crowd out. They weren't as lively. FTR came out. Looks like they didn't even pop for FTR. Because everybody was just like, what was that? Which is how I felt. Like, what was that? I didn't like it at all. It turned me off. And Frank D would say, I'm an apologist. He would. Like, you're an apologist for AEW. And it turned me off. And I'm like, at this point, I'm like, I would not blame people. Which there's a lot of people coming out saying, like, I'm done with AEW. And this is the problem. I hope the last thing that they went through, I thought that was the eye opener. Hopefully this was the eye opener. But it's like they don't care. And it's wild to me. Like, you don't care. You don't care that your company's getting put in a negative light. When you work so hard to build it up, you go and shoot yourself in the foot. Like, why? Why would you do that? And let's keep it at this level. Like, right after that, Will Ospreay came out, cut a great promo, fired a shot back at Triple H. Like, you think I'm afraid of the grind, bro? I fly from England to here every week to be on the mic for 5 minutes. Like, I love that. Also, let's talk about STP. I've been screaming this one. STP needs to be pushed to the fucking moon. They do, because they're dope. Shane Taylor is awesome, bro. He's awesome. And to know him as a human being is awesome. He's an awesome guy. And I like that he's getting more and more time. I want to see him in the spotlight. He deserves, I ain't gonna say he deserves that. He earned that. He really did earn that. But for a company, you have picked up big stars. You have Okada. You have Mercedes Moné. You have Will Ospreay. 3 of the biggest signings of the free agents. Deonna Purrazzo was a big signing. Focus on that. Focus on telling stories with these guys. Focus. You have Thunder Rosa right now, she had to strip the title, out of action for 2 years. Give me a story with her, right? Not just coming out for 5 seconds and doing this little thing with Toni Storm, because there's a story there. When she got hurt, Toni Storm became the interim champion. Cut a not a promo, but she was in the post media scrum, the post show media scrum, talking about it. Like, when she comes back, she can lose to me. Where's that story? And I hate that I'm going in on it like that, but it is what it is. This is what it is with AEW. You keep shooting yourself in the foot time and time again. Dynasty, you have Will Ospreay versus Daniel Bryan. Give me a story that leads to this. You have so much potential on these cards, man. Why are we focusing on CM Punk, who don't even fucking work there anymore? You have the 4th meeting between FTR and the Young Bucks. You could have went a whole different route than saying that the footage that you're showing, trying to embarrass the guy that don't even work there, is what caused you to lose. First and foremost, that's bullshit. Second and foremost, that's petty. You don't need to be petty right now. Build yourself up. You know how you be petty? Be successful. That is the ultimate pettiness. I would know. That's how you be petty. Win. Make your competition want to copy some shit, which you were doing that. Why I know you were doing that? Because they started doing what you were doing, making shit exciting, but they started doing it their way. So you should have just stayed in that lane. Make shit exciting, but do it your way. That was it. I know. I've been going on 20 minutes of this shit. It's wild. It's wild. 20 minutes of why would you collectively shoot yourselves in the foot? Do me a favor. There's a guy out there that is really good in these types of situations, because you're going to need him. His name is Scott D'Amore. Look this guy up, please. Look him up. Hire him. And then move out of the way and let him work. Let him cook. Find Scott D'Amore, hire him, move out of the way, and let him cook. He will get you there. He will bring you results. He will make this Phoenix fly again. Go get that man, please. And then do this. Wash your hands. Wash your hands of it, bro. Please. Because this company, and look, even Ariel Helwani himself said it after he interviewed CM Punk. After WrestleMania. WrestleMania 40 and the moments that it brought, particularly in that main event, do not happen if it wasn't for AEW. That is the absolute truth. That moment doesn't happen without AEW. The fact that the guy that's on top of the mountain right now in WWE, on the wrestling universe right now, left that company to help build what you are running right now, it means a lot. Because he's a part of the high tide right now. So, ride the fucking wave, please. And remember, if you take nothing else from my anger tonight, take this. Find Scott D'Amore, hire him, and move out of the way. That doesn't mean leave the company. You own it. Find Scott D'Amore and let him run it. Please and thank you. And with that, I'm gonna go back to Mania. I'm gonna go back to Mania because I do want to talk about Mania. It was there's a lot of mixed emotions about Mania, and which I get it. Out of the 2 days, my favorite day was day 1 because I felt like day 2 was strong. Don't get me wrong, day 2 was really strong. If day 2 was its own day, it would be magnificent. It would be a magnificent pay-per-view. The 2 days collectively, though, I felt like you had a lot more you could have worked with. I shared my thoughts on the main event, in which I wanted a little more, particularly from the Bloodline side. I thought we were going to get debuts that we didn't get. We didn't even get them on the Raw afterwards. But I do like where we're going. I do like that we're probably going Rock and Cody eventually. Maybe if not for SummerSlam, then maybe Survivor Series, something like that. It depends on what his schedule is, The Rock. But I do know he's a busy man. And I do know that he's probably going to shoot a movie. I know he's got the UFL championships, and I know that's going to at least be May, June. So we probably won't see him till maybe August. And we're probably going to be working SummerSlam. Maybe him and Cody. Right? And there's a story on the table for Roman too. Right? Because I don't know if anybody knows this, and I'll put it out. He lost that title on his brother's birthday. His brother Matt, the former Rosie, rest in peace to him. He lost that title on his birthday. And he put out a video yesterday that said, "Yesterday I mourned. Today is day 1." So we will definitely have Roman coming back. When, we don't know. And maybe that will be Backlash, maybe. I don't know. But maybe we'll see something soon with him and Cody. Rematch, maybe. I don't know. But it's going to be some interesting times here. But again, a lot of stories. What happened with the watch? Not the watch. I keep saying this, the watch. What did Rock give Cody? I think it was a watch. There's internet speculation that is probably a watch. Because there was a story that Cody gave watches to all the participants in night one main event, which included The Rock, and everybody else was seen wearing a watch except for The Rock. And he said, you don't need to know what this is. Another speculation is a lighter, in which Cody's bus caught on fire and The Rock gave him the lighter. I would not go that route because that's just dark. It's darker than me right now. I wouldn't do that. But there are a couple of scenarios that you can go. And we're getting the draft back. I don't like the draft. Can we get rid of the draft, please? Pretty please get rid of the draft. It doesn't mesh well. People didn't play by the rules this last one. People just kept, by the end of it, people was just going wherever they wanted to go anyway. So can we get rid of the draft? Can we just have the champions go wherever they want to go? And it looks like NXT, they're trying to bring that out as a legit third brand, which I'm not against that either. But they have the 3 general managers, and Ava's saying that she's gonna be drafting herself. So it looks like we're getting into that one being an actual legit third brand, maybe. Although I do like the idea of it staying what it is right now, because I do think they are doing great work. Last night was a great show. Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin lost the titles. Obafemi got attacked by Ivar, who looks like he's dropping his Viking gimmick and going on a singles run. I like Ivar a lot. NXT, and if we do get that, Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes in the loser leaves NXT, meaning we're probably going to be getting a draft soon and we're going to see Carmelo on the main roster. But then again, what is the main roster if NXT is going to be a legitimate third brand? What is that going to be? What is that going to look like? A lot of interesting stuff. But I will say this. The tables have completely turned. The tables have completely turned. WWE is like cooking with gas right now. They're firing on all cylinders. All 3 shows are doing good. Raw did they did 2.3 million in competition with the NCAA men's game, championship game. WrestleMania, big success. SmackDown's probably going to do numbers this week. Like, this is an exciting time for them, but it's also an exciting time for the industry, right? Because I'll say this, for WrestleMania, regardless of how you felt about it, WrestleMania was a huge success. I would have gauged this in the amount of people that actually hit me up. There were a lot of people that hit me up this past weekend that don't actually watch wrestling, like normally. Some people haven't watched it in years, hitting me up. Oh my God, The Undertaker. Oh my God, look at this. This is really entertaining. And I'm like, I didn't tell you about WrestleMania, did I? Because that's not what I would normally do. Hey, y'all, WrestleMania is on. Y'all gonna watch it? Because I know people don't like to be bothered with wrestling. But it was a nice, pleasant surprise that people were actually hitting me up and asking me questions about such and such. Who is this guy? What does he do? This is entertaining. Who is R-Truth? This guy is hilarious. And I'm like, yeah, it's amazing. Actually bringing in casual fans or new fans. And those same people turned around and watched Raw. I thought that was excellent, honestly, that you actually had this amount of interaction. And there's a comment. They have a lot of new, fresh eyes on the brand. I agree with this, Mac. Shout out to Mac, aka your boy. They got to keep the momentum. What WWE does is bring new eyes. Hint, hint. but they have the reach to. You know what I'm saying? They have the reach to do this. So all I'm saying is take note. But what they did this past week was excellent, man. The amount of stuff that they had going on, WWE World was a massive success. This was the first year they did that. They're probably going to build something on a grander scale and put it in Saudi Arabia. And it's going to be a hit. So I think that was the tester for Saudi Arabia, because they are building like an actual WWE World there. And it's going to be massive. But this was the most interaction that I've had on a WrestleMania weekend. And a lot of that could be attributed to The Rock. A lot of it can, because he brought a lot of outside eyes to the product. Him being around was really good for WrestleMania. Oh, and by the way, he did excellent in this match. So that was a really good thing for them. Can they do the same thing going forward? They have it. I think Cody's the excellent guy. He's the perfect choice to move us forward into that. And if you look at what WWE is doing, they they have the perfect 1-2 combo. Two guys that have never been a champion, and that's Cody Rhodes and Damian Priest. New eyes on that guy, because Cody, being who he is, has a lot of crossover appeal to him. And he can put that on to a Damian Priest, who can also lift a lot of guys on the Raw side. And that will lead us into the Netflix era. They are doing some very smart things on WWE's end. They are establishing new stars off the ones that they built. Because let me tell you, I went into detail with Roman and what he did. Now it's Cody's turn. You know what I'm saying? So thoughts on Seth coming to the ring in his Shield gear, as well as the intro. I wanted to get into that too. Let's start with the intro. First and foremost, my man came out there on some Fifth Element Chris Tucker shit, bro. I was like, what are you dressed as, Seth? What are you doing? He looked like he was about to say, Corbin, my man, is that a bomb? Is that a bomb, my man? Like, Seth, who the fuck told you to put that on, bro? Like, what are you doing? My man came out there looking like Lady Gaga. Like, chill, Seth, bro. It's just a wrestling match. You coming out here like you're in Final Fantasy 15, bro. Chill. God, dog. But like his actual ring gear was fire, though. It was the extras. Like, you didn't need that, bro. Like, you was about to hit the quartet number 8. Man sitting first chair in that goddamn outfit. Man was at prom in that ring gear. Don't do that no more, Seth. Like, I get it. You're flamboyant, but there's a limit, bro. There's an actual limit. Chill. But the Shield gear, I wanted to talk about that. Because there was a moment that people were talking about in the match where Roman could have hit Cody and retained his championship, but he chose to hit Seth. That's why Seth was in the ring gear, because he knew he was still in Roman's head. He knew that meant something to Roman. And seeing him in that gear brought him back to the moment where he was betrayed. So he needed to get that get back. My only issue is they did that angle before. I can't remember where they did it, but I know they did it before. So in the match, I was like, it's cool, but unless you remember, and WWE is really sneaky with this too. They're very good at making you remember what they want you to remember, because they bring it up. Otherwise, they don't. This time, they didn't, because they wanted you to feel that moment. But I know it had been done before. I just can't remember when and where, but I do know that Roman did get his revenge, and he hit Seth in the back with the chair. So, but that was a good moment in that match because it made Roman lose everything. That was a great moment in that match. And yes, I will address this too. When that when that music hit, I was like, bro, if Jon Moxley walks out here, and I said this out loud too. I said, if Jon Moxley walks out here, I am going to lose my shit because that means they gave him the clearance. Like there's two things I wanted in that moment. Like one, I wanted Jon Moxley, and if I was gonna get Jon Moxley, then I wanted a member of the bloodline to stop Jon Moxley. And if that was gonna happen, I wanted Dustin Rhodes to come out. But again, people are petty, and us wrestling fans can't ever get what we want. So it is what it is. We got that. But there's a lot of callbacks. There was a lot of callbacks in that match. Cena, Rock, Undertaker, Rock had a nice feud back in the day. So they brought that out. The obvious choice would have been Stone Cold, but I don't think we were ready for that shit, bro. I really don't think we were ready for it. So they gave us Taker, which it was a good moment. A moment that nobody expected. It was a bingo card. It wasn't in my prediction. So when it happened, like I was legit surprised at that. I was like, oh shit. it's going down. Like, who else is coming out here? Like, are we getting Stone Cold? And then, the match is over. Roman lost. But still not over that, by the way. Raw. And everybody's talking about the awkwardness of the belt change. And I want to take you back to February 2013, Lafayette, Louisiana. That was a callback moment. That was the moment they switched from the spinner belt to kind of what you see now, the modern belt. It was The Rock when he won the title. He switched from the spinner belt to a newer version of the WWE Championship. First person that came out was Cody Rhodes. He wanted to look at it. He wanted to touch it. The Rock said no. So fast forward to Monday night, they had that interaction to where Cody had his belt, The Rock had his belt, and The Rock asked him if he can hold it, to which Cody actually said yes. And this is going to be part of the story. Like, they did a lot of good storytelling in that segment. That segment was long as fuck, though. but they did a lot of good storytelling in that segment. So it's gonna come back to where their story, like The Rock said, is just beginning, but that seed was planted more than 11 years ago. Sorry, I'm looking at numbers that I'm looking at, but that seed was planted long ago. It was a nice callback to lead them to where they need to go. And I'm telling you, Cody's going to be facing a two-pronged attack probably, because he's probably going to get Roman and he's probably going to get The Rock, and this may lead to a clash between The Rock and Roman. That's what I'm expecting, right? So there's going to be a power struggle over who gets to Cody first, and that will probably lead us to Rock Roman. But a lot of good stuff, man. A lot of good stuff that we have coming out. So I want to take the time out with the remaining time I have. We got a good couple of shows coming up this Saturday. MPX is running the show over in Bedford. So if you're around the area, go ahead and tune in to them. Also, Mission Pro Wrestling is running on the 20th. They have their Mania show, MPW Mania. I will be sharing the cards for those. Shout out to BCP Plus. They posted something with the 90s WrestleCon, which I'm very interested in. So I will be sharing that info as well. Back to the comments. We got another one coming in. Do you like Jay being the number one contender for the heavyweight title? Yes. I think Jay's an excellent first opponent for Damian Priest. I do. I kind of didn't like the field. If you wanted my honest thoughts on that, I would have loved to seen Gunther be the first guy to get a crack at it. Even though I know he's not gonna beat Priest right away. I would have loved to seen him get a crack at it. The second guy would have been the guy that got cashed in on, which is Drew. I would have loved to seen Drew win it and get a crack at it. Am I mad at Jay getting his first crack at it? Nope, not at all. Not at all. There can be a story there too. So if you give them a good enough match, both guys can come out of this with, something they can build off of in the future. And that's what it's all about, right? Making the champion look like a credible champion, because Jay is a people's choice, right? Damian Priest is kind of there, but he's not there all the way. If you want to give him that extra bump, throw him in there with Jay. I would have did it with Drew, because Drew is hitting his stride right now. You could have made them look a little bit stronger that way, but I'm not mad at Jay. Obviously, I would have liked Gunther, and the reason I would have picked Gunther, because Gunther's a perfect bad guy. He's the perfect antagonist in this situation, right? He's the threat. Now, I do think they will eventually go this way, and they will make a lot of fucking money with this, because those guys have a history that not a lot of people know about if you aren't following the indies. They will be making bangers when it happens, and I wholeheartedly look forward to it. But I think him and Jay will put on a good program. I do. People weren't too keen on Sammy, right? That match was probably one of the matches of the year. Honestly, if we're being honest, that was a great match that they had at Mania. Him and Gunther. And him beating Gunther was, you could argue, was the right call. I would have stuck around because 666 don't look good. Now you got to win. You can beat him tomorrow on Raw. I would have kept that shit around like one more day at least, bro. 666 ain't a good number to stop at. That's just me. Call it superstition. But I do like Jay. Being the number one contender. I do like R-Truth and The Miz as tag champions. And bro, can I just say thank you to the powers that be for keeping R-Truth around Judgment Day. Thank you for whoever's allowing this to happen. This guy is pure gold. Thank you, R-Truth, for blessing my life with your goodness. Because this guy is hilarious. It's like Rhea and Damien, they get the crowd like, and I actually was like into that. I was like, oh hell yeah. Give me the Judgment Day as champions, and then here comes R-Truth. Like the timing of this guy is just perfect. Perfect. So yes, I like them as tag champs, and I think you could do a lot with them as tag champs. Yeah, man. He said he had no idea he'd been in the business that long. Yeah. Truth is in like his mid-50s. He don't look it, and he don't perform like it. Yeah. He legit title at 52. Yep. So he's in his 50s and crushing it. Don't even look like it. But my man was K-Quick. I remember that too. He was K-Quick and hitting people with I thought his axe kick was better than Booker T's. Probably still is. Because like he hit it and then he spin. But yeah, homie been putting on. Him and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, like in NWA, like they told some great stories. They told some beautiful stories in not TNA. Yeah, it was TNA, but that was old school TNA. But yeah, they had been telling stories. That's when they still had the NWA championship. He's one of the few I think he may have been the first African American to hold a NWA championship. I gotta Google that. I might be wrong, but I gotta Google that. But I'm thinking that he is the first African American guy to hold a championship. I'll look it up. If I'm wrong, I'll correct it. But yeah, man, Truth's been putting on for a long time, man. And it's good to see him. The only thing I wish he would have got is like the WWE championship. I'm not mad that he didn't get it, but I wish he would have got it at some point because he's that good. Truth really is the truth. Like that ain't a gimmick. He's the truth. The guy's he's legit, man. But kudos to him. He's gold. He's still putting on at his age, and when he steps away, it's gonna be sad for me, at least, because I've been a fan of Truth. But yeah, man, final thoughts. Again, make sure you guys are tapping into these shows. We got the Smoke Pit coming back. Smoke Pit coming back. We got USDN. They're revamping the show, and I want to make sure I bring you guys this news. So they won't be doing. My boy Jeff won't be doing shows until his show is revamped. He put it on pause while he goes and works behind the scenes. Shout out to him. Shout out to the Queens of Nerdum. They got an episode coming. They're going to be debuting their Hall of Queens with Comically Inclined. We also have Fallen Star Fridays with pretty much the whole group. I haven't been on because I've been working WrestleMania stuff and UFL stuff. So I will be jumping back in here. I got a message earlier that piqued my interest that I definitely need to be coming back to the table and shaking some dice with these guys. So I will be back in the building. But once again, man, if you guys are tapped into this show, do me a favor. Follow us on all our platforms. Follow us at DFPN Studios, right? To where you can get these YouTube videos, like, share, subscribe to that channel. You get all these videos. Follow us over on Instagram or IG, as the young folks call it, at No Gimmicks DFPN. Follow us on the Twitter machine or X at No Gimmicks DFPN. And then follow us on Facebook. Shout out to the No Gimmicks Podcast fan group. We are growing by the second. All these guys are awesome. They contribute positive comments, feedback, funny shit to all the wrestling content that we drop. And it's just an awesome time. So if you are just hopping back into the wrestling world, if you are just following No Gimmicks, stay tuned. You know why? Because we give you the truth. Unfiltered, 100% real, 100% of the time. So if you like it, tap in with us, man. Don't be bashful. Don't be shy. Don't be quiet. Tap in, let your voice be heard. We fucks with you too, if you fucks with us. But this is our show for tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in to episode 69 of the No Gimmicks podcast here on the DFPN. Come back next time. Until then, you know what to do. Enjoy the wrestling. Peace.
And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmick. Yeah. And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmick. Yeah. And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmicks, gimmicks.
Oh, yeah, one last thing. Shout out to Montezi. You be killing this song, bro. I love it. Peace.